Jim says he wants to improv over jazz chords or jazz chord changes for one. He can already do that.
Who is that?
Jim.
Jim Rolfe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy, come on, man. We all want to do that better. What? And we'll work on, Jimmy, I'm telling you, and you know the secret. The secret is learning a solo already and learning licks and knowing where they go and then learning what they do against every chord so you get a feel for it. All right, the hunt and pecking system of here's the third, here's the seventh, I can, and this is valid, don't get me wrong, I can encase the third, encase the seven, can encase the flat nine, all that stuff is important when you're laboring over a solo. But really when it comes down to it, when you're actually soloing, you fall back on what you've already learned in the past. So you got to input a lot before you can get even a little bit out. So the JGI course is good on that. Have you been working through that, Jim? The jazz guitar improv course, because I think that's a real good course, and it's on sale.
Jim says he started that.
Oh, when did you start that, Jim? You got to start it to finish it, but the key is to finish it.
Hey, he's like goals. He does goals like you. He starts them and never finishes them. I'm really goal oriented. I'm great at setting goals.
Yeah, you can set them. It's just getting it to
Just
them.
achieving, man. Gets me every time. Jim did do summertime. So 5 more, one down, 5 more to go.
Yeah.
You got this.
Good. Well, again, now wait a minute. Tom Johnson, didn't you do the course? I could have swore you did, didn't you? If the same Tom Johnson, you did an excellent job on that. Didn't that course help you? I'm hoping it did, because the deal is you really want to think about what you're doing when you're soloing, or try to think about it. So there's several things that happen, sometimes your fingers play, sometimes your heart plays, sometimes your brain plays, it's all different, so what you want to do is get used to constructing a solo. So when you do that, we first do it in JGI where you take the exact same notes that I give you for the solo that you've already learned.
Wow.
Wow, that's a heavy pick, isn't it? And then you go and you solo. You learn the solo, note for note. Then you learned a rearranged solo where I've taken those same notes and rearranged it. Then you may do your own the same way. And the first time you do it might take you 2 days. Next time you do it might take 5 hours. Next time you do it, 2 hours. Next time, 10 minutes, and then pretty soon you're on the fly. So it's very important. I have a lesson on playing turnarounds. And it's just all turnarounds. And we go through 4 keys. So you should learn that and memorize it. The key is to memorize it. Take a lot of coconut oil, some brain food.
Do you memorize the notes you just played over the changes?
I did it one time, but I know what the notes are, you know. So I know the names of the notes. But so, yeah. I mean, that's very helpful because you want to see how the notes relate to the chord. So you got to know the name of the note and its relationship to the chord. And once you get that done, then great.
Barry Roberts is clarifying, what I mean is, did you memorize those licks or are you improvising? Just a moment ago when you played and then you said you should memorize what to play. That's what it was when you were playing those turnarounds, I think.
Okay. Well, I had learned this turnaround years ago. And then you learn to rearrange it. You know, yeah, you gotta memorize it, and then out of that comes something else. Okay. When you think about let's talk about classical music. Okay, if you ever saw the movie Amadeus, you saw that Mozart could play Bach like nobody's business. So he knew Bach's music like crazy, right? And from that, he would improvise and he would have his own music. Okay, so you learn, it's a language. You have to learn the language. And then from that, you rearrange it and learn to speak it. So, but when you learn a language, you don't go, okay, here's the English language, and we're going to talk about, you got to have a noun and an adjective and a verb and all this stuff to have a complete sentence. And, the babble is the way that you learn, right? You learn phrases. And the same thing, a little kid, he doesn't know, a little baby learning to talk. They don't know about nouns and pronouns and all that crap. But they mimic, and that's what you do, is you mimic. And then you learn to speak it. Okay? Something like that?
That's a pretty good analogy, yeah. Yeah, wow. I'm impressed by that one. Way to go.
Well, I've heard it said before. So yeah,
it makes sense. I mean, kids don't know the difference between
they don't know
a noun and a verb, but they can speak fine.
Then you go to school and have to learn all that stuff. So you can create a sentence that's correct, I guess, right? That's why you go there. Diagramming sentences. Remember doing that? God, I hate that.
There's that language learning app too called Babbel.
Yeah, that's what I said, Babbel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that. They say, "Where's the bathroom?" And then they say it in Spanish, you know? So, I don't know.
Anyway, okay, D. White says, "Hey, Rich, just wanted to shout out how much I appreciate your lessons. Learned a ton from your bebop blues stuff. Bought them all, and I'm still learning from them." D. White.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man.
And then Ann's...
Now look at. Here's an example. That's the first solo, right? So, I could choose to play that solo during a jam, or I could rearrange it. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. And so that's the same idea as learning to speak and play something. So I'd memorize that. Actually, I wrote that out, right? And the second solo, I love this lick. I forget what everything else was, but anyway, I wrote that. And then it's something I liked, and so So I woodshedded those licks, you know, and so you learn it, and then it becomes part of your vocabulary.
Yeah, he said that's from the B flat blues.
Bebop, blues, and B flat, yeah.
Ann asks, Rich, you know all the scales and arpeggios inside and out, so it makes it easier to improvise and connect everything?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. That's definitely part of it. Yeah, you want to learn, you know, Joe Pass could play scales like crazy, and arpeggios. He knew how to do that. Okay. Now Wes Montgomery, he in his soloing, he does it all the time, and he plays those arpeggios. You hear him all the time. So, that it works. So you have to learn your scales. Of course, you want to learn your scales. And so you're really familiar with the neck and where the keys are. It's very, very important. Hi, Rich here again. I just wanted to say thanks for checking out my videos. If you like it, hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and sign up for those notifications so you can see all the cool guitar videos we put out each week. If you want more lessons right now, I have hundreds of them at guitarcollegelibrary.com. Check out our low-price monthly streaming memberships. And if you want to learn jazz, check out my course, Jazz Guitar Improv. I take beginner jazz players and get them playing awesome solos on the fly. You'll see the link for the JGI course in the description below. Hey, thanks again for watching my channel. We'll see you again real soon with a new video.